Hey folks, this is Jadius,
And this is Bass.
and we're in the Wood League, and so are you. And today we've got an exciting game between Tarson and Bly, two European heavyweights, both of them residing in the top 100. The most recent top 100 European, Tarson actually number 5, and I think Bly is number 90, 91, something like that. So it should be pretty exciting European clash right here.
Very interesting. Jadius, I got a quick question to you today that's very much related to StarCraft.
All right, shoot.
How far past the expiry date would you be willing to drink a nice glass of milk?
Well, oh my. What's the situation? I mean, am I going to die if I don't drink the milk, or is it on a dare? Am I going to make lots of money, or is it just drink some bad milk?
Well, let's say you know you're not going to have any more milk for a few days. You just ate like 5 chocolate chip cookies.
Ooh.
You poured out some milk, and and then you notice right before your mouth is just full of crumbs and chocolate,
Mm.
and before you take that sip, you notice it expired X days ago.
I would have to say 2 to 3 days. I think would be my limit.
Yeah, very interesting.
What about you?
Yeah, I would say zero. And as we were just discussing earlier, I've recently had a run-in with some gross expired milk. It was very, very potent, very sour, and I'm afraid of those expiry dates.
So now maybe you'll be a little bit more apprehensive. Tasting a little bit of the milk, a little bit at a time, like a royal tester.
I already am more apprehensive. Actually, I've been drinking a lot of expired milk lately. But that I say that's like not quite the point. Looks like this drone here is about to die.
Yeah, I mean, this drone, I think, had a good shot at taking down this SCV over here, and actually gave up on it after a little while. After Tarson managed to bring in a little bit of SCV and reinforcement, now going to do the classic gas occupation
Yeah, I
by.
noticed that the SCV was nearly dead, and it seemed like it was still in range of the drone, but the drone just stopped attacking it. I guess a very benevolent drone we've got out on the board here.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly seemed like that SCV was going to go down. I don't know what Bly was actually thinking, and maybe as a result, kind of getting his spawning pool a little bit late here. Looks like a fast expand going down for at the same time for Bly as his spawning pool. Now Tarson going to go to work on this extractor and try to get Bly's vision right out of his base. But like I said,
Yeah, Bly actually finishing the extractor off. Don't see that very much.
yeah, I mean, kind of a different strategy. Usually, you would opt for canceling the gas and then remaking it right away, if I'm correct in that assumption. But Bly actually finishing it off. I think it has a lot to do with maybe the slight lateness of things going on here for Bly. Maybe that initial harass that he was doing kind of took his mind off his macro. Like I said, spawning pool's a little late. Zergling's coming out now, and it looks like they're on their way to scout. And this expansion getting up and running, just one drone mining at it, but it should be in full effect pretty soon.
Yeah, Bly trying to move out with these Zerglings to keep the pressure on Tarson, and he's gonna try and keep the attention off this fast expand, but it doesn't look like it's gonna work. Tarson's moving out with 4 Marines, and these Marines are gonna find this expansion, assuming they don't back up. And yeah, it looks like they're still moving forward. I was thinking maybe for a moment there that the Zergling run-in did work, and that Tarson was backing up to take the defensive position, but it looks like he's moving in, and this expansion could be in trouble.
Yeah, 5 Marines coming down here with an SCV, probably going to make a bunker, an offensive bunker here. The SCV is going to have to watch out for these Zerglings. Going to have to wait for reinforcements. The Zergling is going to be scared away. There's your favorite anti-Zerg unit, Baeus, going to work right here as a Hellion. He's going to try to use the Queen as a barricade, in effect, to get the flamethrower going well there. A few more Marines and another Hellion in here to reinforce. Bly being put under pressure very early here. His first natural expansion, in tough right now, but a couple of roaches coming out with these queens, and it looks like it's going to be beefy enough that Tarson is going to turn tail for the time being. Tarson, has fast units on the board, but they're definitely not beefy enough to take out roaches in any great number.
Yeah, I would have liked to see those Hellions actually go into the back of Bly's main and take out some of those drones. They would have been able to do quite a bit of damage. Although that being said, I'm not the greatest at multitasking in StarCraft, and I expect way more of the players that I watched than myself. So that would have been quite awesome if Tarson could have moved those Hellions in the back of Bly's base while still microwing those Marines and keeping as many alive as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a great opportunity for a run by. I think those queens and the two roaches kind of forming that wall seemed a little bit menacing to Tarson. But now Tarson switching tactics over to a Banshee. This, of course, a great move. When you see the heavy roach pump, of course the queens are going to put those Banshees under pressure, but for the time being, looks like no cloaking technology so far for the Banshees. The Banshee is just going to have to try to avoid these queens, but a good tech switch for Tarson here, and just kind of keeping Bly, in his base, but Tarson hasn't expanded yet, has finished his second command center, is going to push out to get the expansion right now. Maybe a little bit late, could have kind of pressed his advantage, keeping Bly locked into his base.
Yeah, I like this move here by Tarson. When you know that you can't break in, you can't deny the expansion, and I think Tarson has figured that out by now. Bly has quite a nice defense going on in this choke point. What you really have to do is make your own expansion so that you can keep up in economy, and Tarson's doing a great job of this. He's actually a little bit ahead in economy as a result of these mules, and he's going to keep up as he puts this command center down.
Yeah, Banshee's exerting a little bit of authority there on the expansion of Bly, taking out a couple of workers before the Queen's putting them under pressure. Tarson's still pumping out Banshees. Looks like maybe he's done building them for the time being. Looks like Marauder tech, not Marauder tech, but Marauders being built. Feeling like he's kind of gotten into Bly's head as far as the Banshees are concerned, and that Bly will start building to counteract the Banshees, try to catch him in a move with a few Marauders, Marines, and a stim pack, and be able to kind of push him out that way. One Banshee goes down to the Queen, but Bly just still feeling a little bit apprehensive about leaving, going to the middle of the map here.
Yeah, that was a bit of a strangely aggressive move there by Tarson, moving that Banshee in just way too far. Being focused down by 3 queens, and didn't last long.
2 Hellions there going around the upper north path, getting farmed down by these roaches and Zerglings. Tarson going to know that this contingent of Zerg units is up here on the north side. These 2 Hellions met absolutely no resistance down here on the south side. So Tarson, sacrificing 2 Hellions, but for the good of his future in this game, now knowing where the bulk of Bly's army is.
Yeah, Bly not quite ready to attack yet. He's going to clear out this northwest gold expansion and perhaps move up there with another source of income. Both players kind of feeling each other out at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Bly realized that Tarson knew where he was, and that he was coming, and his element of surprise was ruined. So feeling, maybe this is a good time to get the gold mineral expansion. Tarson's going to be apprehensive about moving out to counter a force of that size, especially with Hellions and Marines. A couple of Banshees still out on the map, but nothing too bulky enough to take out these roaches, really.
Bly actually just finished putting up a spire, and 3 Mutalisks are now on the way, and those should be able to counter the Banshees quite nicely that are on the map. Tarson has a few Marines, but he doesn't have that much AA at this point.
Yeah, it looks like mostly upgrades right now going down for Tarson. I mean there is a starport. It's pumping out medevacs at the moment, so no Vikings being made. Of course, Vikings can be made very, very quickly out of the reactor addition starport. So, I mean, he can switch to Viking tech pretty quickly if he wants to, if he feels the need to. But these Mutalisks might be able to do a lot of harassment in a short amount of time before he realizes he actually needs them.
Yeah, those Banshees falling right into Bly's trap, noticing that hatchery going up, and they decide to attack it. It was a big mistake. 3 Mutalisks easily taking them down, being way faster than Banshees. There's no way those Banshees could have survived or escaped.
Tarson catching Bly's ground forces trying to go through these destructible rocks now, but now Tarson going to move out towards Bly's base as these Mutalisks kind of creep around his natural expansion, but Mutalisks are going to meet missile turret resistance, and Mutalisks are going to turn back towards Bly's base and maybe help out with this incoming wave of M&Ms, or M&Ms rather.
Yeah, those roaches earlier did not stand any chance against this huge force of Marines and Marauders. Tarson doing a great job, doing exactly what you should do, running away from those spawns that appear after you kill a Zerg building.